Welcome to Pro JDM. I am Adrian, and this is my 1996 Subaru Impreza Brighton Coupe. My bucket, pretty much. But as she looks like kind of crap, whatever, she actually runs pretty solid. Today, what we're getting ready to do to her is engine fluid, engine oil change, and front and rear differential fluid change. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. Yeah, so let's get to it. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is undo or loosen the oil filler cap to relieve pressure. There we go. Also, this is where you fill your oil. If you couldn't get this off, then there's no point in draining your oil, and that applies to all the systems for the differential. And all right, next step, we're going to loosen up the drain plug. It should be a 17 mil. I got a 17 mil right here. Yep, it's a 17 mil. This feels like it. It's definitely a 17 mil. Just weird. Yep, 17 mil. Okay, this is weird. And what I like to do to get things loosened up, I just like to give it a little tap rather than try and force my, use pure force. I just like to give it a little tap on the end. Oh, sorry. Just elbowed my cameraman over here. So I like to give it a little tap right here instead of trying to push all the time. Just like, say you have things right here, just prevent from busting up my knuckles. So just give it a little tap, and you see it doesn't take much to get her loose. And I think, yep, she's already hand loose. And then just gonna roll right into the next step here. If you can shift the camera over here to the oil filter, we're going to, yeah, it is a little dark. Okay. All right, over here in the oil filter, I'm gonna loosen this up. It might be a little tight. It's been a while since I've done this one. Yep, getting it. All right, so it's coming loose. See it turning. All right, so now we got the oil filter loose. We don't want to take it, we don't have to take it all the way off. We just want to loosen it up. And since we're already here, we can roll into the next step, which is draining the oil. So you can just back this out. Your oil drain plug here. It doesn't have too many threads on it, so you gotta be careful. You can see it's dripping already. So what we want to do is make sure your oil pan is centered up under it. And all right, one thing I forgot to do before, but I did it off camera. Remove the oil filter and let the rest drain out. Clean up your surfaces, just in any little small amounts of remainder of dripping oil. Just clean that off. Give it fresh surfaces. All right, after that's done, you can take your oil drain plug here and just go ahead and cap that. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Get it in there, get a nice smooth turns. There you go. Alright, shift the tension a little bit up here. Up to the oil filter there.
It's on.
Here's a new filter, a little STP. Just a daily driver, so nothing crazy. All right, and what we do here is take a bit of fresh oil and put it on that gasket right there. Yep, you don't need much, just a little bit, just to wet it. Trying to get my finger in there. There we go. Just to wet it there, and we can go ahead and reinstall the oil filter. Make sure everything's cleaned up, and next we can fill it with oil. All right, so next, guys, we're moving on to the front differential fluid change. Right here is the 21 millimeter drain bolt. I'm going to be undoing.
We're good.
All right, as you can see here, the fluid's already draining. I pulled it out. Yeah, it was just right off in here. Just backed it out, pulled it out. Also, as you can see, there is some debris. All right, cameraman's taking a break, so I'm taking over filming duties for a little bit. All right, so we have drained out the transaxle fluid. This is where the fill is going to be. This is your dipstick for it. It's just going to be yellow, just like the engine oil one over there. It's right down off in here on the passenger side of the transmission. You'll once you like, if this wasn't here, it'd be the yellow end of the dipstick going down where the end of the funnel is down there. So that's where you fill it. What I'm getting ready to do now is go ahead and put the drain bolt back in there, so that you can go ahead and fill it and put it back in, tighten it down, and get on to the next step. All right, now we got the bolt tightened up under the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and start filling the fluid up top here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. What you gotta do is take the top off, take off the seal, and you're gonna have to clip that little end right there, so that you can pour it into there, or squirt it rather, however you want to say it, however you want to do it. Well, I'm gonna get that done, and then we're gonna move on to the rear differential fluid draining and refilling, which is just as simple as all of this that I've done. So let's get to it. All right, so here we are at the rear differential of the 96 Subaru Impreza. These two are the top one here is a filler, and your bottom one is your drain. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and loosen up the filler and get it off, and then get the drain plug broken loose. See how hard this may be to get off. Oh, there it is. It broke loose. Awesome. All right, so I didn't think it was gonna come off that easy, but it did. So what I'm gonna do now is so next, you can get that on there and break the bottom one loose as well. Boom. And it is loose. Lunchtime. Oh, lunchtime. So got those two broken loose, and now it's time to start draining the rear differential fluid. since you already got this one broken loose, you can go ahead and get it off. All right, so as you can see there, it's a magnet, so it's gonna collect all the metal debris that's in there, the metal shavings. So what we're gonna do here is just gonna cap that. So it goes back in there pretty easy. Gotta make sure you clean that thing off. All right, it's hand tight. Just give that a little, you know, a little wipe there. And for this next part, we're gonna be filling through that hole. All right, so we got it filled up. Went ahead and put the fill bolt back on. You see it's dripping out. That's about pretty much how you tell how much is in there, is once it starts to overflow, that means you're good. Obviously, since you know, it would just be counterintuitive to actually put any more in there as it's spilling out. So it is good. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these bolts back down, clean it up, and that is all the servicing for this car, the 1996 Subaru Impreza Coupe. Yep.